Yes, Dortmunder said. You can reserve all this for yourself and your family for simply a $10 deposit. My, said the lady. She was a pretty woman in her mid-30s, small and compact, and from the looks of this living room, she kept a tight ship. The room was cool and comfortable and neat, packaged with no individuality, but a great passion for cleanliness, like a new mobile home. The draperies flanking the picture window were so straight, each fold so perfectly rounded and smooth, that they didn't look like cloth at all, but a clever plaster forgery. The picture they framed showed a neat, treeless lawn that drained away from the house, the neat, curving blacktop suburban street in spring sunshine, and a ranch-style house across the way identical in every exterior detail to this one. I bet their drapes aren't this neat, Dortmunder thought. Yes, he said, and gestured at the promo leaflets now scattered all over the coffee table and the nearby floor. You get the encyclopedia and the bookcase and the Junior Wonder Science Library and its bookcase and the Globe and the 5-year free use of research facilities at our gigantic modern research facility at Butte, Montana, and we wouldn't have to go to Butte, Montana, would we? She was one of those neat, snug women who can still look pretty with their brows furrowed. Her true role in life would be to operate a USO canteen, but here she was in this white-collar ghetto in the middle of Long Island. No, Dortmunder said with an honest smile. Most of the housewives he met in the course of business left him cold, but every once in a while he ran across one like this who hadn't been lobotomized by life in the suburbs, and the contact always made him cheerful. She's sprightly, he thought, and smiled some more at the rare chance to use a word like that, even in interior monologue. Then he turned the smile on the customer and said, You write to them in Butte, Montana. You tell them you want to know about, Anguilla, she suggested. Sure, Dortmunder said, as though he knew just what she meant. Anything you want, and they send you the whole story. My, she said, and looked again at all the promo papers spread around her neat living room. And don't forget the 5 annual roundups, Dortmunder told her, to keep your encyclopedia right up to date for the next 5 years. My, she said. And you can reserve the whole thing, Dortmunder said, for a simple $10 deposit. There had been a time when he had been using the phrase measly $10 deposit, but gradually he'd noticed that the prospects who eventually turned the deal down almost always gave a visible wince at the word measly. So he'd switched to simple, and the results had been a lot better. Keep it simple, he decided, and you can't go wrong. Well, that's certainly something, the woman said. Do you mind waiting while I get my purse? Not at all, Dortmunder said. She left the room, and Dortmunder sat back on the sofa and smiled lazily at the world outside the picture window. A man had to stay alive somehow while waiting for a big score to develop, and there was nothing better for that than an encyclopedia con.